Hi, fourth graders. Happy Thursday. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today for math, we're going to look at angles. But as we start to talk about angles, I really want you to view angles in the world around you. Where do you see these angles and what makes up those shapes? Because that's going to give you a better understanding of what we're talking about. I sure hope you guys are all doing great. I sure miss you. I know your teachers miss you a ton too. So hang in there. We're getting through this and you're learning a ton. So now let's move on to some angles, okay? So the standard for this one is G1, which means I can classify angles. Acute, right, obtuse, and straight are the main ones we're going to focus on. Okay, what is an angle? Well, it's space between two intersecting lines that cross, or perpendicular lines that cross at a right angle, which we'll talk about, that is measured in degrees or a surface of an object's corner where they meet. So when we look at these intersecting lines right here, right where it says angle, that space from this line to this line here is your angle. And the point that it makes right there, that is called a vertex. That's where the two lines meet, and it's kind of like their corner. It's where they get together. Okay, so that makes up the angle, is that space between the two lines. When we look at the perpendicular lines, remember you have one going up and down, one going side to side, and they're going to make what we'll talk about later is a perfect right angle. And that's why I put this box there, is because it makes a perfect right angle. Again, the middle point right here where they intersect is called a vertex. Okay, so when we talk about an angle, we also have to talk about how we measure them. Just like if we were measuring other things with our last unit, we would use different tools, whether it be a ruler or a measuring cup. In this case, when we talk about angles, we're measuring with degree, and to measure a degree, you use a protractor. It looks like half a circle, but you can also flip it around that side and it be a full circle of 360 degrees. So a degree is a unit of measurement of an angle based off a 360-degree circumference, and that's the measurement of a circle, and you measure angles with this protractor. Okay, here are 5 different types of angles that we're going to look at today. This first one up here is an acute. This one here is a right. Then you have obtuse, straight, and reflex. And I'm going to explain those some more. A reflex is not one that you hear very often, especially right now in 4th grade, but I want you to know there are other angles that you should be aware of. Okay, so the first one we're going to look at, and let me move my picture because it certainly seems to be in the way today. So the first one we're going to look at is acute angles. And they're angles that are measured more than a 0 degree, so that means you're moving up and having some space between your lines, and less than a 90-degree angle. And I always say, because the word is acute, ooh, nice line, Mrs. Johnson, sheesh. So it means, oh, it's so cute, and things that are so cute are really little, right? So that's a small angle. So it's really cute. Okay, it's not perfect, it's just teeny tiny. So you can see all of these here. You have a 62, 48, 71, 54, 12, and 67, all lie between 0 degrees and 90 degrees. Okay. Now moving on, the next one is a right angle. Now, right angle measures exactly 90 degrees, okay? Exactly 90 degrees. If you put your arms together and where your hand touches your elbow, that's exactly 90 degrees, okay? Anything in between would be acute, and then bam, when your arm is straight up, it's 90 degrees. You can also hold a piece of paper right to the corner of this, and you can see where that little box is. If I held a piece of paper to the corner, and if you have one with you, do that right now and hold it right to where one corner of your paper touches this dot, or what we call the vertex. When it touches that, you should see this blue line line up with the side of your paper, and this other blue line up with the bottom of your paper. And that's just an easy way to see if this angle is really 90 degrees. Okay. Our next one is an obtuse angle. So an obtuse angle is one that measures more than 90 degrees, but less than 180 degrees. So here are different obtuse angles. I always think if acute was, oh, it's so cute, so little, right is right in the middle. Obtuse is huge, it's so big. Yeah, like it's an obtuse angle. So we call it an obtuse angle. So if you look at these, you have 116, 112, 168, 94, 105. All of these angles lie between a perfect 90-degree angle to 180, which if only my hand could do that, would make a straight line, okay? Which leads us to our next angle. Our next angle is straight lines. So you have your vertex in the middle, which are your dots in the center of all of these, right? That's your vertex. And on either side, you have two lines, or two line segments in this case. These angles, when they're together and stretched completely flat, they wind up making half of your circle. And you can see here's your little arch. If I were to continue this arch, it would go all the way around and make a circle. And this line here, this straight line, will cut that circle completely in half. So half of a circle would measure 180 degrees and make a straight line with two lines connecting at the vertex. Okay. Another one is going to go past the 180, and this is not one I'm going to spend a ton of time on because it's not really something fourth graders need to know, but this does make it look at why we measure angles based on a circle degree. So angles that measure more than 180 degrees, but less than a full circle of 360 degrees, when it lies between there, it means it starts here and it's going to curve all the way around. So when you look at this one that says 248 degrees, you're starting on this line right here, and you're going all the way around that curve, meaning you've passed your halfway line of your circle and you end up here. And this arrow shows you really nicely that it's more than half, but less than a full circle around. And so that's what's called a reflex angle. So you can see all of these measurements listed around the angles are more than 180, but less than 360. Okay, now it's time for you to make your own. And this is one of your steps to do, and be creative. If you don't want to make it with these materials, that's fine, but you probably want to have something that you can grab pretty easily and use on your other assignments, okay? So that's the whole point of this. So I went ahead and made this one. I used toothpicks. I actually had some colorful toothpicks, but I went ahead and said straight, and that is an angle of 180 degrees, and I put two toothpicks together, and where they meet right in the center again is called your vertex. Awesome job. Okay, and this next one is an acute angle. Remember, it's so cute, and it's going to lie between 0 degrees to 89. One more than that would give us 90, and if it's a 90-degree angle, oh, then that's this one down here, which is called a right angle. And that right angle is exactly 90. An obtuse is an angle between 91 and 179, because one number up from 179 is 180, and that makes it back to a straight angle. So go ahead and make yours. I gave you a list of materials that I kind of used or some you could use, but be creative. So you could use toothpicks or Q-tips. I taped mine. You could use glue or glue stick, whatever you can find with that. You can tape it down or glue it down to paper or cardboard. And then I wrote the notes on their side. Remember what each one was. And I would like you to do that too, so you remember as well. Our brain works in funny ways. And when we get to build something and write about it, then when we have to remember it, it's already in our brain because we've manipulated it so many times that we'll never forget what it means. Then down here in the directions are just some other steps to kind of help you. If you want to go ahead and freeze this page and start making your own, that would be totally awesome sauce with me. You guys have fun, and don't forget to fill in the form for your assignment today. Bye, fourth graders!